I grew up in the 70s in what I call a actively black family, right? So my mother and my father made sure that everything we touched and everything we saw had an element of blackness. My parents knew how small a little black girl or a little black boy could feel in this world. And so they wanted to make sure that we thought in numbers. So Cuba and Africa and the Caribbean, they even grabbed parts of Asia, and they said, these are parts of your community. This is who you are. We are numbers. We're not one in a few. We are many, and we are strong. And so in my mind, my community was the black community. But here's what happened. My 3-year-old child, Penelope Adjoa Gloria Patterson Garte, named after all of the strong women in my family from South Carolina all the way over to Ghana, said to me, "Mama, I am not a girl. I am a boy." And just very clear. It wasn't a question, it was a statement. I am boy. And of course I said, well, however you feel is fine. I thought maybe this was a girl, my little, I had Penelope in a pink dress at the time and a big blonde afro. And I thought maybe she was trying to express some sort of feminism. Like, I'm not a weak person, I'm a strong person. And so I said, however you feel is fine. And then Penelope said, no, I don't feel like a girl. I don't feel like a boy. I am a boy. I had to go wider than I ever thought. Much wider. I had to see the we in the I, right? So my son's transgender, and that is, it's not a scientific thing, it's not a political thing, it's just how God made him, simply, purely, perfectly. And it took me a long time to understand that identity it happens up here in the brain and here in the soul. It has nothing to do with the body, has nothing to do with sex at all. So we're not talking sexual preference. My kid was 3 at the time, and he said, I am a boy. So it took me months and months and years to figure this out. And on that journey, I actually had my community with me. I had teachers, I had principals, I had friends, I had girlfriends, business folks who supported us, writers who wrote about us. No one ever turned their back on us. No one ever said that, well, not in Brooklyn at least. When I went outside, when I went far away, it got a little dicey. But here in Brooklyn, I never had anyone turn their back on us. And a lot of people said, look, your community is not going to be down with this. Black people have to think about mass incarceration and housing crisis and things that are primary to the black community. They're not going to get this esoteric conversation about gender, and they were wrong. Because I think community is here to meet us at the very moments when we need it most. So what I ask of you tonight is that you speak with Sonia, wherever she is. Where she go, there she is. Tell her what's important to you. BCS has always had my back. Penelope and Georgia. So Penelope is my son. He actually has decided to keep his name Penelope. He was like, well, why would I change my name? I love my name. I was named after my grandmother, so I'm proud of that. So Penelope is my son, and Georgia is my daughter. She's an activist. I have 5 children. 2 of the 5 are in the campaign. BCS has been there for us. They have helped us to fight against LGBT hatred, trans hatred, transphobia. I'm sure you know this, but most trans, we are really lucky. Penelope's really lucky to have support. Most trans people don't have that support. 50% of trans teens attempt suicide simply because they have no community. I get emotional. Families split up. Churches reject families, children. Children get bullied at school. Penelope has never had any of that in Brooklyn. expand the community. Sometimes we think our community is very small. I think we think in small terms because it makes life feel safe. We need to expand the community. Bless up. Good night, and thank you. Thank you so much.